Orthographic rules are standardized grammatical rules that are followed when writing a language down. Correct spelling is important as it can change the meaning of a word. In punctuation, all sentences must end in a period, a question mark, an exclamation point, etc. Commas and periods are used to indicate a pause in American English, while colons indicate an explanation and semicolons indicate that a sentence is related to the previous one. Articles. An article is a word that goes before a noun. There are two types of articles, definite and indefinite. In the indefinite we have an and some. An are used before a noun to refer to a general thing, a is used before a consonant, and n is used before a vowel, while some is used with uncountable nouns. In definite we have the. This one is used when talking about the specific thing, and there is also the case of not using any article.
Common and proper nouns. The difference between common and proper nouns is that common nouns refer to a general thing, and proper nouns refer to specific named things. Proper nouns are always capitalized, and common nouns are only capitalized at the beginning of the sentence. For example, a common noun is a boy, and a proper noun is James. A common noun is a river, and a proper name is Mississippi River.
We use a reflexive pronoun as a direct object when the object is the same as the subject of the verb. We use it after preposition of place with the preposition by and to show that someone was alone, like the children got dressed by themselves. Reflexive pronouns are herself, himself, yourself, itself, and ourself. Subject-based pronouns I, you, he, she, it, we, they are used to replace the subject that performs the action and thus avoid its repetition. They are usually placed before the main verb of the sentence, so it's quite easy to recognize them. Personal object pronouns will be me, you, him, her, it, us, and them. If you don't know the gender of a person or if they do not identify with the pronouns he or she, you can use the gender-neutral pronoun they.
Then we have the verb moods. Verb moods are classifications that indicate the attitude of the speaker. There are three different classifications: the imperative, indicative, and subjunctive. The indicative and imperative moods are pretty common. We use the indicative mood in most statements and questions. Then we use the imperative in requests or commands. Imperative statements have an understood subject of you, and therefore take second-person verbs. The subjunctive mood is used in a special kind of statements. The most common use is the contrary to fact or hypothetical statements. If it's something likely to happen, we use the indicative mood. If it's a hypothesis, use subjunctive. After that, we have the reflexive verbs. A reflexive verb is a transitive verb whose subject and object always refer to the same person or thing, so the object is always a reflexive pronoun. An example is to enjoy yourself, as in, did you enjoy yourself?
Indicative present simple. The simple present tense of the indicative mood is used to talk about regular or permanent situations. It also refers to current actions. For example, I live in Mexico. The present progressive is used to express an action in progress or an unfinished action. For example, my dad is sleeping right now. We use indicative simple future when we want to say something that is going to happen sometime in the future. For example, I will become an engineer. Periphrastic future. This type of tense is employed in a particular function, to say something that will happen. We use a combination of a motion verb, go, and a purpose clause, to plus infinitive. For example, I'm going to read. Formal and informal imperative. As you know, there's 4 ways to use an imperative sentence. As an order, for example, keep quiet, wake up. As an advice, for example, don't drink alcohol, don't get up late. And as a request, for example, please help me, don't speak please. And as an instruction, for example, disconnect the power supply, take my luggage and put it next to my bed. The first 2 are the informal and the other are the 2 formal.
Structure of a simple sentence. They might be simple, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a simple sentence formula. Nailing down the components of a simple sentence is the first step in writing one. A simple sentence is a type of sentence structure which contains just a single independent clause. An independent clause contains a subject and a verb, and expresses a complete thought. Here are a few examples. She wrote, she completed her literature review, he organized his thoughts by theme, they studied APA rules for many hours. Logic, syntax, articles, nouns, and adjective. A logic is defined by syntax, semantics, and proof system. The syntax details the allowed symbols of the language and which combination are grammatically. In the context of logic, the order of words can significantly impact the meaning of a statement. The elements that most influence a logical syntax in grammar are article, noun, and adjective.